Bismillah.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. These are some final points regarding the janaza. One thing that we mentioned before and we didn't talk about the specific dua is when visiting the grave. When visiting the grave, you face the face of the deceased and you say salam. But we didn't specify what is the exact salam dua that you should say. And that is the dua narrated by the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. He's saying, Assalamu alaikum dara qawmin mu'minin. Wa inna insha'Allahu
Insha'Allahu
bikum lahiqun.
bikum lahiqun.
So you can kind of divide Assalamu alaikum dara qawmin mu'minin. And here you can put comma. Wa inna insha'Allahu bikum lahiqun. Assalamu alaikum dara qawmin mu'minin. وَإِنَّا إِنْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ بِكُمْ لَاحِقُونَ means peace be upon you. A house of the believer people, house of the believers. This is the grave is a
House.
graveyard of is house of the believers, and we, God willing, will be joining you. We will be joining you, God willing, and we are all. May Allah makes the people of Jannah and accepts the believers in His mercy.
Amen.
The second point here, it is sunnah for the neighbors of the family of the deceased to prepare food for them. This is actually a sunnah initiated by Prophet Muhammad
Sallallahu
to prepare food for the family of the deceased. That is sufficient for a day and night at least. For a day and night at least, even maybe more, but the least is a day and night, and persist on them to eat because they might be too sad to eat and so on. No, you just be persistent. Oh, please eat. How did you like the food? Things like that.
Mm.
So you prepare food for them and persist on them to eat. The last point that is mentioned in this book of funerals is sudden death. Sudden death. People. So what does it mean sudden death? Some people go on the deathbed and get sick for a while and go through the death signs, and as what we explained, he dies slowly. That's but some people all of a sudden heart attack and they are gone. Or some kind of stroke and they are gone. This actually, the increase of this sudden death is a sign of the day of judgment. Actually, this is a sign of the day of judgment, especially for younger ages. And we see this actually. I see people, younger ages, sudden death. This is one of the signs of the day of judgment. And the Prophet Muhammad used to seek refugee from sudden death. He used to ask Allah to protect him from sudden death. However, sudden death is a comfort for the believers. When we talk about believers here, we talk about the really good people, the people that are really have a good connection with Allah, the awliya, like the awliya and salihin. Like these are the people, like the Prophet Sulaiman, for example. Imam Shibini mentioned Prophet Sulaiman died sudden death. Nobody noticed that he died. So this is for these people, it's a mercy and a comfort, and for the wrongdoers, it is a punishment. It's a sign of anger of Allah. Sign of anger of Allah on the wrongdoers, that they die suddenly without any long time or without signs of death that comes slowly. So may Allah protect us from sudden death. And this is actually the conclusion of the book of funerals. We finished it, alhamdulillah, in about 68 lessons.
MashaAllah.